Hello everyone, welcome to solution series of Introduction to Programming in C. Let's solve our week 1 assignment question number 1. So here we are given that you have a certain number of 100 rupee notes, 10 rupee notes and 1 rupee notes with you. And also we have to buy an item whose price is also given to us. So we have to write a program to find whether the given price of item using that and the total amount we are having using that, both comparing that, we have to check whether the item is affordable for us or not. Now let's coming for the input. Here we have to give four non-negative integers we have to input. The first input is a integer representing number of 100 rupee notes, whereas second input is an integer representing the number of 10 rupee notes, and the third input is an integer representing the number of 1 rupee notes. Also, fourth input is an integer representing the price of item. That is where we have to check whether this price of that item using this, we have to check whether this is affordable for us or not. Now output we have to give is, we have to give output as 1 if the item is affordable for us, otherwise the output will be 0. Now let's coming for the code. This is the basic code in hash include stdio.h int main, and this is return 0. We have to write in this in all the programs. Now coming for the initialization, here we are initializing the four important inputs, that is n1 number of 100 rupee notes, n2 number of 10 rupee note, n3 number of 1 rupee note, and the n4 here is the price of the item which we have to check whether it is affordable for us or not. This x here is very important, that is x we are calculating for total amount of money we are having. Now let's see here. Here we are taking input from the users of values the number of 100 rupee notes, number of 10 rupee notes, number of 1 rupee note, and the amount of, or say the price of the item which we have to check. Now here we are taking the values of x. X is the total amount of money which we are having. That is, suppose if we are having 500 rupees and the amount, the or say the price of the item which we have to buy is 470, then we can definitely buy that item. Now let's come for the logic of the code. Commenting it as logic of the code. Here we have a condition that if we are having amount for suppose x amount and it is greater than or equal to the price of item which we have to buy, if this condition satisfies, that is we are having more money than the item which we have to buy, then we can definitely afford that item. So we will print 1 as our output, else 0 will be printed. So you can see this code. Let's compile and run it. Now here we can see that our test cases are passed. So these are inputs and expected outputs. So actual output, the status is passed. Now let's submit it and check the actual private cases where we have passed or not. So this is the answer. We have passed all the private test cases used for evaluation. Now let's move. Let's move to our week 1 question number 2. Here we are given two positive integers, say m and n, and we have to check whether m is an exact multiple of n or not, but the condition is without using the loops. Now here we have to input two positive integers, say m and n. Suppose this with an example. Suppose m is equal to 18 and n is equal to 6. We know that 18 is a multiple of 6. 6 times 3 will give us 18. Now similarly, so let's go for output. We have to give the output as, if m is a multiple of n, then we will print 1 as output, else 0 will be printed. Now let's come for the logic of the code. Here is our code. Hash include stdio.h int main return 0, the same for all codes. Now here we are initializing the two inputs say the two positive integers we have to take. Initializing it here. Now taking the input of values for m and n from the users. This is using the scanf function. We will take values of m and n. Now here important logic comes. Logic of code. Here we have to check using if statement. If m%d equals to 0, then we will print 1. What this means is, when this is a modular operator where we have to check the remainder. When m is divided with n and if it gives us remainder 0, then we can consider that m is perfectly divisible by n. So we can also say that m is a multiple of n. Similarly, if this condition gives us the remainder 0, then we can definitely print 1. Else, if m is not divisible by n, or say m does not give a remainder of 0, then we will print 0 here. Else the 0 will be printed. Let's check and compile and run this program. So here we can see we have passed both the public test cases. Now let's check the private test cases. See, we have passed all the private test cases for used for evaluation. Week 1 question number assignment question number 3. Let's move to our week 1 assignment question number 3. Here we are given three integers a, b and c, and we have to find whether they are strictly increasing or not. What strictly increasing or decreasing means? If we say strictly increasing means the value of digits entered will be like this: 1, 4, 7, 9, 11, 13, like this. These are strictly increasing, whereas strictly decreasing will be 16, 15, 14, 13, 11, 10, like this. And if we give an example like 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, so this do not come under strictly increasing or strictly decreasing. So here we have to give input three triplet of three integers a, b and c. Our output will be, we have to find whether the entered triplet is either strictly increasing or it is strictly decreasing order. If this condition is true, then we will print output as 1. Otherwise we will output will be 0. Now let's come to the code. Here it is hash include stdio.h int main return 0 is same for all the questions. Here we are initializing a, b and c. These are the triplets. Now let's come for the input from the user. We are taking input from the user using scanf function, the values of a, b and c. The main logic of code starts from here. Logic of code. Here we have a conditional statement. If this a is greater than b, and this is the logical AND operator. If b is greater than c, if this condition is true, or this is logical OR operator, or this condition is true, a less than b and b less than c. If both the condition or even any one of the condition is true for our input of triplets, then we will print 1, else we will print 0. Now let's check the compile and run. Now let's check what the result is. Here we have see public test cases we are passed. Now let's submit and check the private test cases. See, we have passed all the private test cases used for evaluation. So for next solution, just be updated with the videos and do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching the video.